June the 9th. That is the day that we are getting the official reveal for Black Ops 6, Call of Duty 2024, whatever you want to call it. But I'm guessing before then, leading up, we are going to have a ton of leaks, and on top of that, a ton of little teasers put out by Treyarch and Activision. And if you want to stay up to date on all of those, you're going to want to make sure you're subscribed. And speaking of which, only 37% of you that watch my videos are actually subscribed. So be sure to go and hit that subscribe button. And be sure to check out all my other social media down in the description, whether that be Twitch, Twitter. I try to keep you guys up to date across the board. Even TikTok, I'm starting to upload things over there. Again, everything linked down below. But what we do have is a ton of information, mainly revolving around leaks and articles put out in Bloomberg and other inside sources that actually give us a ton of information on what is to come in Black Ops 6. In this video, we are specifically going to be looking at the campaign of the game because, believe it or not, we actually have a lot more information on this campaign than you may believe. And if you want to see more videos like this one, maybe for example, we'll break down 10 things we know are coming to multiplayer or zombies or even Warzone. If those are videos you want to see before that reveal, be sure to hit that like button. But you're going to see exactly what I mean. We have a ton of information on campaign, ranging from how it's going to look, what it's going to look like, and on top of that, what characters are in it and the story as a whole. So without further ado, let me show you what I'm talking about. The first thing that we know is that Call of Duty 2024 is our first Call of Duty game with a 4-year development cycle. And what I mean by that is that this game has been in the works for 4 years. Now, the reason why I put sort of there is because the teams that are working on it are mainly Raven Software and Treyarch. Now, Raven's worked on pretty much every Call of Duty game in the last 5 years, including being the ones that made the campaign for Black Ops Cold War. They are said to be the ones working on the campaign for Black Ops Gulf War, Black Ops 6, Call of Duty 2024, and then Treyarch will be left with multiplayer and zombies. Now, even Treyarch has been working on ranked play. They've been working on zombies for Modern Warfare 3. These studios are kind of spread thin between other games, but this game as a whole has been in the works for that long. Now, as we know, this game is going to be set in the Gulf War in the early 1990s and take place right after the events of Black Ops Cold War, which also means right after some of the events of Black Ops 2, including where Frank Woods got shot in the knee, the Bay of Pigs invasion, Frank Woods shooting Alex Mason, and everything in between. What this means is it's a direct continuation and will take place in the same universe. But the next thing, the third thing, probably the biggest one, is that Black Ops 6 is said to be an open world game. Now, don't think open world game like we saw in Modern Warfare 3. That was not an open world game. They were open combat missions, as they wanted to call them. They did never once called it an open world game. This game, think more like Far Cry style or the more recent Halo game. This is going to be an open world game where there's fast traveling, there's vehicles to get around the map. It's going to be its completely owned separate map. And in it, there's going to be your open world things like completing various missions in there, some other things that we're going to look at in a minute. And on top of that, linear mission. So you go to a location, you talk to someone, this hops you in a helicopter, takes you to a linear mission, that kind of thing. We're still going to have the traditional Call of Duty linear missions, but it's going to kind of take place in this open world that is whatever it is. We don't know where that location is yet. On top of this, we have returning characters. Now, I can't tell you what the returning characters are because, as we talked about with the story and the continuation, Frank Woods is shot in the knee, Alex Mason is missing, but Russell Adler, I think, is a pretty safe guess, and we're probably going to see some other characters in there as well. One we won't see is Hudson. He died in Black Ops 2. We know this. So our returning characters are not going to be our main characters in Black Ops 6. In fact, we know what the main character is, someone by the name of Ratcliffe, who is actually a real-world soldier within the Gulf War. We'll talk about that at a future date. You know I like the stories of characters. Now, we know this because the actor who is playing Ratcliffe by the name of Luke Charles Stafford about a year ago came forward and said he's excited to be working on the next Black Ops game. So it was kind of spoiled by him way back then. But yeah, Ratcliffe is going to be the main character. And then we also have a couple of other characters' names, including Felix, Marshall, and Newman. We don't know what's going on with them, but those are some other characters as well. Now, speaking of this open world and what is going on with that, one thing that is going to be returning from Black Ops Cold War is the safe house. This is going to kind of take place as your main base, where you set up for missions, where you go to get ready to move forward, whether that be in the open world or for your next linear mission. This safe house is going to include a firing range where you can test out your weapons. Speaking of which, one of the things you're going to be able to do in this open world is rank up your weapons and add perks to them. Now, I don't know what type of leveling system this is going to be, whether it's going to be the same as multiplayer or whether you're going to have to collect things within this open world and then add perks and things like that to your weapon, which you can then test out in the firing range. A pretty cool system. However, that is not going to be the only thing you can level up at the safe house. You can also add things to your character, add perks to your character, level up your character. Again, I don't know if this will go forth into your multiplayer or zombies level, but you are able to upgrade your character. And these are going to feature things like workbenches, which is going to be the area where you go to rank up your weapon and things like that, and add attachments and add perks to your weapon and make your soldier better. Now, one of the things that I am most excited about, because I make videos about this kind of stuff, is at the safe house, there is said to be an Intel computer. This is something that was there kind of back in Black Ops 1. There's been Intel in many campaigns. So apparently in this open world, there's going to be Intel hidden all over the place. And then you can go back to the safe house, have a look at that Intel, and then extract your information, and it will be kind of play into the overall story of not just Black Ops 6 or Black Ops Gulf War, but also the previous games and characters as well. You guys know I love that type of thing. Now, the final thing that we have is a subset of missions. Now, these were data mined, so these will not be the final names of the mission, but it kind of gives you an idea of what you are looking at in this area. So what we have here is a mission called Contract, Union, Safe House, a Farmhouse mission, Storm, Extraction, Redacted, and Imposter. These are very kind of straightforward Black Ops names for missions. There is really no surprise there whatsoever. So as a whole, we can't really take away anything from those mission names. But if you're asking me what my big takeaways are for this is going to be a very different Call of Duty campaign. There's going to be these open world aspects with a safe house with kind of RPG elements where you can add perks and level up your weapons and your character. And then there's going to be your linear Call of Duty missions. If you're asking my opinion, for this to work, the bread and butter, the thing that's they gotta nail is those linear missions. If they can work in this kind of RPG open world element with those amazing linear missions, which by the way, Raven did do with Cold War, with like that KGB mission where you're talking your way through. If they can incorporate that all together, this could be good. If we get a repeat of Modern Warfare 3 where we have these open combat missions, everyone is going to hate it. And of course, with Black Ops, there needs to be that amazing story. Those writers over there knock it out of the park 9 times out of 10. So if they implement all of that, this could be one of the best Call of Duty campaigns we've ever seen. So those are 10 things that we know about the Black Ops 6 campaign. If you want to see me do a video like this with multiplayer, zombies, so on and so forth, let me know down in the comments. Hit that like button, subscribe, all of the good stuff. But as always, thank you so much for watching. And until next time, peace. We are real.